Jenna, congratulations to you on this series. I saw the first two episodes. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan, obviously a huge horror film fan. You've got Scream, you've got X, you've got Wednesday now under your belt. It honestly just got me thinking, what horror films does Jenna Ortega love during Halloween and fall season?
Ooh. I just recently watched Deep Red for the first time. I believe that the Argentina, is his name? I don't know. Sorry, I'm gonna restart this. Um, Me taking my own cues. Sorry. Deep Red. I recently watched for the first time. Fell in love with. Possession, I think, is a great one. I believe that's from the 80s. I really love Hereditary. I really love what's another good one? Oh, you know what I recently rewatched too? Nightmare on Elm Street. What a perfect horror movie.
It is
Freddy Krueger has got
that's
to
a
be one of the
classic.
yeah, he's got to be one of the creepiest characters of all time. I'd say
Yeah,
those
no, that
are my recent.
all great picks. I'll have to check out Deep Red. I haven't seen that yet. I love the scene in Wednesday where we see her playing the cello in front of that gorgeous stained glass window. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan, and that was just like so classic and beautiful Tim Burton for me. What is something that you learned from Tim Burton as a filmmaker that you are just going to carry throughout the rest of your career as an actor?
I think maybe like something I would take as an actor. I'm someone who also typically I want to direct in the future. So I feel like for me it was more the way that he communicates. I guess communication. He's an incredible collaborator, and I think that I learned a lot about the dynamic between a director and actor and what it can be and how personal it can be. Um and I think I think we kind of almost became good friends, and there was like a genuine protection for one another's craft and work, and that was a really special experience.
Yeah, I love that. Well, obviously, I love that Christina Ricci got to be a part of the series, and I love watching what I've seen so far between Wednesday and her kind of like chat. What was it like just meeting Christina and that initial conversation? Obviously she's played Wednesday before. You're doing a different version here, but was it kind of just interesting meeting another actress who's played the same character before?
Yeah, I've never even played in a character that's been done before. So that was
Okay.
weird. And then yeah, to do it right in front of her while she's watching you, looking you up and down is it's terrifying. It's terrifying, but she is such a cool individual that I felt like after the first couple of days I was able to ease up or whatever, but I definitely felt more tense or nervous on those days. And
Oh, wow.
um fortunately enough, she's a very generous actor and made me comfortable, and we talked a little bit and got to know each other. And I think it's funny because I don't typically get starstruck with people or treat people differently because of their craft, but it's a little different when you're Wednesday in front of Wednesday.
I know, it's so crazy. And also off the top of my head just now, Yellow Jackets, that like the horror film series, also that's
Yeah,
a bomb horror film like series.
yeah,
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 no, 100%. No,
yeah.
yeah.
She's
So
queen of creepy things.
yeah, queen of creepy things. Last question for you. I absolutely loved Scream, and it's one of my favorite movies of the year. It's going to be making my top 10.
Oh,
Honestly,
cool.
to enter a franchise that's already so popular, this has been behind my office here forever, and do such a bomb job. That opening sequence with your character, and the character actually survives, something that we haven't seen in the opening scenes before. What can you tell us about Tara Carpenter for Scream 6? I loved this character. I can't wait to see more of her.
It's so interesting because we kept talking on set. It was the first time I had been on the Scream set and I wasn't screaming and crying and on the floor. So we kept saying, "Oh, well, now she has a personality. Oh, now she's like an actual individual and not some crybaby." To be fair, she had been stabbed several times.
Many times.
Yeah, but I think that the second one was really interesting because yeah, she was a bit more of a real person. She is interacting with the other characters more. Like I never had scenes with Jasmine Savoy Brown or Mason Gooding in the last one. So it was nice to actually work with my castmates, and
Yeah.
not just Ghostface, but then also it it was really wonderful just kind of furthering the relationship between Melissa Barrera's character, Sam Carpenter, and
Mhm.
creating the distinction between them. It was nice because I kind of took her performance and pushed the other route in terms of, okay, Tara's going to be super feminine and super sensitive, or a bit more dramatic, or a bit more, embracing her teenage side. And that was really fun for me as well, especially with the ghost face that's more gruesome than ever. It was nice
Wow.
to kind of play sensitive feminine girl who's still strong. I only want to play strong people, and she's strong.
Well, I love all of the characters and the women that you've played so far. I cannot wait to see you and support what you're doing next. Jenna, this was such
Thank you.
a pleasure. And I cannot wait for fans to see Wednesday. I'm ready to binge the rest of it right now. I need to see what happens with my girl here.
Sweet. Thank you. Maybe you should.
I will. I will. All right. Thanks, Jenna. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, take care. Thank you.
Gwendolyn, this is an honor to chat with you. You're in so many of my favorite things: Star Wars, Hunger Games. I have my Mockingjay tat. Yes, I was like, I'm so excited that to see you in a Tim Burton production. Are you wearing? I was gonna say, it looked like you were wearing Jack Skellington earrings.
No, no, but these are Schiaparelli earrings, and
I
it's
love
an
them.
eye so that I can monitor everything that's going on
I see it now.
behind me.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
I love it. Well, I've only seen the first two episodes, but I absolutely love Larissa's vibe. And it seems like she has some secrets up her sleeve. So, what can you tease us? And is there going to be any more scenes between Larissa and her old roommate, Morticia?
It's an amazing character, Larissa Weems. I absolutely love this character so much. I love that Tim was really collaborative. He was really interested in what I thought. What's weird is that I had this idea that Larissa Weems should look like a Hitchcockian screen siren. As someone that's always lived in the shadow of Morticia Adams, as she
Hmm.
did when they were both students at the Nevermore Academy, that she would want to self-create and be mythic. And so what's weird is that Tim had exactly the same idea, and so did Colleen Atwood. Those were the same references. So it was the opportunity to transform in a way in which I never ever have done before. Nobody's ever seen me in that way before, particularly considering my work up until this date. So that was a real pleasure for me because I really like to transform into different characters. And then the idea of this very eccentric outcast headmistress who's finally in a position of power and is running this school and doing it very successfully, and then to be challenged by the child, the daughter of the woman that she was plagued by, that she was tortured by. She was always in the shadow of her, and presenting a new spanner in the works, a new terrible dynamic to have to deal with, but also being forced to look at who she is as a person and all of her complexities was just divine to me. I truly loved it.
I think it's different than anything you've ever played before, and you just completely transform into that character, especially with Colleen Atwood's costumes. I mean, it looks incredible.
Yeah, Colleen did a exquisite job, as she always does. She is one of our greatest costume designers and one of our greatest living costume designers. She's truly, her body of work is exceptional, but she also has laser eyes and is able to see things in 3 dimensions that other humans truly can't. And a world of references that I've never seen before, and just an incredible execution of costume, of working with your body, making you feel really fabulous about yourself. I have to say, Colleen made me feel great about myself and really celebrated my body. And Tim gave me a huge amount of confidence and encouragement, and I felt liberated by them.
Absolutely. Tim Burton's one of my favorite filmmakers. I could talk about him all day. But speaking of world's greatest, Brienne of Tarth is literally one of the best female TV characters in all of history. And I love when the fandom still continues to ship Brienne and Jaime. So much of the fandom wanted them to be together. What is your response to the fandom who really wanted Brienne and Jaime to end up together? Because the chemistry that they had was incredible, and I loved what we got. But what is your response to the fans?
To the the fans are completely wonderful to me. And they are the degree in which they embraced and continue to embrace Brienne of Tarth is extraordinary. It is truly mind-blowing. It really is. It's testament to the brilliant work of George R.R. Martin and of David and Dan that translated and brought that character to life through the pages of the script. And they really did honor George R.R. Martin's vision. And his vision for the character was always, when he was asked, how do you write such great feminist characters? He would say, I always see women as people. But I understand that people wanted to see Jamie and Brienne end up together. Personally, I loved that she did not need to be defined by a man. I love that, yes, there was a tragedy, but Brienne ends up with the top job. She ends up with the job she always wanted, and that's what she's always been dedicated to. And at the end, she honors his memory and she gets back to work.
I love it. I mean, like, I know the fans are still crazy about it, but I personally love where Brienne ends up. I just wanted to get your 2 cents on it because it's just something that after all these years is still being talked about today.
Well, it was an incredible show to be a part of, and those characters really blazed off the screen. And I think that part of the magic about it we'll never quite understand, but when you have characters who are very flawed, and are not necessarily gorgeous and successful and brilliant, that they are flawed and complicated and they get things wrong and they make mistakes, and sometimes they learn from the mistakes and sometimes they don't learn from the mistakes. And there is an entire world of confusion. That is human. That's a lot of what the experience of being human is. And I think that's why it connects so strongly to people.
100%. Well, Gwendoline, they're wrapping me. This was such an honor to chat with you, and I cannot wait to see the rest of this series and see fans in this. Have the fans see you in this role. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate it.
Of course, Gwendoline. Have a great one.